Today on my channel, Planner Friends, we are going to do a faith study together based on Luke for Christmas Eve and the preparing for the birth of Jesus. So I'm going to do this with you in this planner, and so I know it's Christmas Eve when this is going to be released, and I just wanted to bring a little faith and remind us all of the joy of the season, which is why I'm dropping this. I really debated not putting up a video for Christmas Eve, but I want you to know that I'm out here and I'm thinking of all of you, and let's share in the joy of this miracle. Hello, planner friends, and welcome to my channel. I'm One Crafty Dolo, and I'm so happy you're here with me today. Thank you. Thank you for taking your time and spending it with me. On Sundays on my channel, it's always about Jesus, a faith study, faith and Bible journaling, and a good cup of tea, which I've been really drinking readily here. So I'm filming this ahead because of Christmas Eve, and so forth. And I debated whether or not I wanted to do a Christmas Eve video. What am I doing? How am I doing this? And I decided yes, I would, because you know what? Sometimes our Christmases are wonderful and our holidays are wonderful, and sometimes they're not. And sometimes we're doing well, surrounded by loved ones, and sometimes we're in grief or sadness and we miss people. So I thought today I just wanted to share the real meaning behind Christmas and hopefully inspire you, because I myself have been in the trenches before. If I'm being completely honest, I miss seeing my parents this Christmas. We are having company, so that'll be good, and I'll see my son, but sometimes it's just harder than you want it to be. So without further ado, let's get into this faith planner and set up Christmas week. So I'm going to do this in advance so you see how I'm doing it. So really quickly, this has been a faith planner of mine forever. I don't know, I've had this for so long, and I'm actually switching out planners come January. I'm going to miss it. I may end up using it as one of my regular everyday planners for my home, but that's neither here nor there, not right away anyway. So I'm going to use this. And this is the faith study I've been working in. It's from the Daily Grace Co., Preaching the Gospel to Yourself. For those of you who don't know, these studies are really in-depth, and what they want you to do in a day, it takes me a week, but that's not a bad thing, right? So I'm going to put this aside for this week because it is such a huge holiday. So let me get this open. I didn't change out my decor. I did create this Advent cute journaling or Bible verse booklet. I love how this turned out. One of my happy spaces. I can drop the link below if you haven't seen that. And let's move here to December. And so this was my front piece for the month. I always pick a verse for the month, and of course I picked something from Luke because that happens to be my favorite. That's why I say, of course, it's one of my favorites in terms of the Advent, the miracle of Jesus. This is the first week. This was the second week, and then I did this really fun project, which I didn't do anything to the back. I just left it, but this was this past week, and now we are into this, which is hard to believe. So I guess I'm filming it. I was going to wait till Tuesday, but it's sunny out, so I'm filming it Monday, and I'll drop this on Sunday, but hopefully I inspire you in some way. So this is my older Bible. It's a King James version. I've had it forever. And what I did last week, FYI, I did my study as it were, but then I created this little project. I love it. I'll drop this link below, and it had to do with Luke 1, right? With the, Mary's told, what, she's a handmaid of the Lord. And now we're going to get into the miracle of Jesus's birth. So what I'm going to do today is I want to dive into Luke and to, really kind of put this in this planner, and I'll show you how I do a study. Oh, and I brought this out because just in case I want to add to it I have this paper pack, which I've been using a bit. But you know what? I'll put that aside for now. Just if I do add a tip in, it's going to be from this though. So let's look a little bit about the birth of Jesus. And, you know, we have the birth of John that precedes the birth of Jesus. And, you know, Elizabeth, John's mother, is Mary's cousin. And so the birth of Jesus, and it talks about the decree from Caesar Augustus that the whole world should be enrolled in it. You know, each from his town, and Joseph went up from Galilee to the town of Nazareth, to Judea, to the city of David that is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and the family of David, right? And he's going to be enrolled with Mary, his betrothed, who was with child, and when they were there, the time came for her to have the child. So I think what I want to do in terms of this, okay, let's dive into here a little bit. Let me grab my pen, and actually I almost wonder if I want to grab a marker or two, because maybe instead of just doing it in pen, I create on the camera. I have some idea of what I'm doing, but I love opening myself up to the creative process while I'm on camera. So what I think we'll do here is take one of these, okay, and I'm going to start here with Luke. Okay, right. So we're going to start there. This isn't going to be my typical write everything there. This is a week to be commemorated and to go into Christmas Eve and into Christmas with the miracle of the birth. So I'm going to go back and forth, I think, between chapter 2, chapter 1, maybe. But I want to set it up so that this is a joyful space. And that's why I grabbed these markers instead of just doing it in pen, if that makes sense to you. So what I did just now is I went back into Luke 1. Okay, and we're going to go over what's known as the Canticle of Mary. Okay, and I'm going to do this with a finer tip. I think that would be smart, so I'm going to write this out and share it with you. Okay, so what I did is, you can see I expanded this and it's working perfectly. Luke 1:46-50, my soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord. My spirit rejoices in God my Savior. For he has looked upon his handmaid's lowliness. Behold, from now on all ages will call me blessed. The mighty one has done great things for me, and holy is his name. His mercy is from age to age for those who fear him. Now it goes on. There's additional verses. He has shown might with his arm, dispersed the arrogant of mind and heart. He has thrown down the rulers from their thrones, but lifted up the lowly. So again, we see this constant message, wonderful message of humility, following God in humility and in grace. The hungry he has filled with good things. The rich he has sent away empty. He has helped Israel, his servant, remembering his mercy according to his promise to our fathers, to Abraham, and to his descendants forever. So, and we know Mary stays for 3 months, and then she goes home. John is born. And so now we come to back to Luke 2, and I'm going to use the green again, and now we're going to, let's see here. How am I going to do this? Because I want to have the birth with coming over, you know. So what we're going to do is come back here. Let me think of it. I know what I'll do. Okay, Luke 2-1, and I'm going to use the other side to write some of this down. Okay, so here's how I did it, and you know what? I need to add 3 through 5. There we go. So let me move this so you can see how this looks. So we have Luke 2:1. In those days, the decree went up from Caesar Augustus that the whole world should be enrolled, right? I brought you a little closer. And then we go down into, Luke 2. So all went to be enrolled, each to his own town, and Joseph too went up from Galilee to the town of Nazareth to Judea, and then to the city of David, which is called Bethlehem. And this is something we always need to remind ourselves. David was the lowly sheep herder. He could have been nothing, and yet God picked him as a humble servant, and it is through his line that he brings us Jesus. And I think that's part of my attachment to the Psalms, maybe part of it. But yeah, so then he, because he was of the house and family of David, to be enrolled with Mary, his betrothed, who was with child. And in the next verse, verse 6, Jesus is born. And so what I'm going to do this next week is take that and flesh out the rest of Luke, and then that'll be it for this study, this planner. And I'll switch into the next one for the new year, because that one is dated. So anyway, I hope that today, oh, wait a second. I always highlight my verses, just kind of, even though they're large, I hope I can highlight them without making it a mess. I think I can. I want to wish you the best and most meaningful and a Christmas full of love and joy and happiness. I want you to be good within yourself. I really do. That's one of the big purposes behind my channel. And I want you to know that you are loved. I also want to say, and I swear I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. If you are in a tough season, I've been there. I understand that, unfortunately. And I want you to know that I will be praying you up. And I'm working on an article. Hopefully I get it up soon for Medium about what I've learned in 2023. And spoiler alert, one of those is playing the long game, if you will. And that's what we see again and again in the Bible, is that there's the immediacy of you wanting to right a wrong, or you're in pain, and then there's stepping back, which is hard. Believe me, it's hard. And saying to yourself, okay, wait a minute. I can do X, but I can only do X. I can't do Y, Z, A through Q. I can't do those things. And trust and have faith and letting yourself go and realize that this life is a long game, and that you can't get always, if you get always caught up in the moments, it just makes it harder. The humility of Jesus' birth, and I don't mean he was humiliated. What I mean is Mary became God's humble servant. He was born in really meager circumstances on purpose, per God's design. He was descended from David, again, the sheep herder. So I just want to leave you with those thoughts today, and know that I am wishing you a really good holiday. Each and every one of you, I really am. And thank you for being here with me. Have a blessed Christmas, my dear planner and faith friends. I really value you. And thank you for enriching my life and being lights to me. God bless you all. Merry Christmas, friends. Sorry, friends, really quickly, I did end up adding in this little, you could call it a tip-in, but I took one of the verses from the Canticle of Mary, and I just simply, I used this piece of paper I had used that for that Advent booklet, and on the other side, I took one of these, and I just adhered it to this. I thought that would be one, whoops, I dropped it, one good way to do it. And then I grabbed this new sticker book I had purchased for, butterflies, and I picked out some gold because I thought the gold foil would really, add to this. And yeah, that's what I ended up doing here, is just a little tip in. And I think this one line from Luke 1:49, the mighty one has done great things for me. Oh, did that resonate? And I hope I can leave you with that, dear friends. God bless you. Thank you again. Merry Christmas.